If I had to start my Amazon dropshipping business completely over from scratch today, I'd do it entirely differently. And it's not because I made massive mistakes back then, but tools like ChatGPT and AI weren't as sophisticated as they were 3 to 4 years ago when I first started as a broke valet driver. So what took me 3 to 4 hours of manual product research can now all be done in a matter of just 10 minutes by using the right prompts and using the right tools in the right ways. And what took me months to figure out through trial and error, I can show you all in just one video. So by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what I would do differently if I actually started today. The shortcuts I would take, the time wasters I would avoid doing, and why you can potentially make results a lot faster comparatively like what I did when I first started, so that way you can see more success with a brand new Amazon business. Now, what I would first start to do outside of the basic things of course, creating the store, naming the store name and all the different types of fun stuff, really focusing on the core element of what an Amazon business is the products, okay? So right away from day one, I would want to be able to understand the categories, okay? Now, when I say categories, I specifically mean by this, following what we specifically call something is the 70-30 rule, okay? So 70% of the products are going to be in major product categories, and then the other 30% are going to be more so in seasonal. Now, this is what allows someone to be able to ensure you're not just focusing on the products or the hype trending products, because you're going to have high sales and you're going to literally have no sales after that. So by doing this is essentially your way to be able to ensure that you're hedging against any sort of volatility in your sales and ensuring that you're doing as much as you possibly can to diversify your product offering. So even if hypothetically it's the first of the year, let's say, and I know fitness products get super populated, it's very competitive, I'm not gonna have a hard time making sales because I have other products and other product categories that I know people are still buying products within. So following the 70-30 rule, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're just structuring your business and listing products within the right product categories and not narrowing yourself down or not having what we may call on a technical side, more of a niche store. Now, once you understand the 70-30 rule, you need to know the difference between restricted product categories versus unrestricted product categories. Okay, now this is an important thing because for a lot of people, what ends up happening, they're going to start to do research in beauty and personal care, let's say, for example, because it's a very big brand, especially for females. Now, when you're looking at beauty and personal care, in hindsight, yes, it is a very good product category, but you need to understand two things. One, there's a lot of different regulations that go into beauty and personal care products because there are ointments, there's different regulations and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of technical things and little itty bitty pieces that go into listing a product within that product category. But even further to that point, you need to understand if you're doing Amazon FBM rather than FBA, so fulfillment by merchant, third-party sellers in the way that we do it, you need to want to start listing products and product categories where other Amazon FBA sellers aren't. And I've created this analogy for you guys very, very many times where Amazon FBA sellers like products that are small, that are tiny. Like let's say, for example, this little remote. It's small. They can buy 10,000 of these little remotes and it might not cost more than £5, let's say, for example. But on the contrary, let's say, for example, if you take a drill set, if you take a microwave, those things are bigger in size. When they're bigger in size, it obviously costs more for Amazon FBA sellers. So they're going to be deterred from actually listing those types of products. So the product category that you end up choosing does initially matter because firstly, on the restricted side, what category are you restricted from, unrestricted from, and so on. But then also from understanding if you want to get access to more FBM sellers over FBA sellers, because that's where you're going to have higher likelihood of finding brands that you can be ungated in and a higher likelihood of being able to compete on price. Now, once you understand the specifics in terms of what product categories you're going to be focusing in, the 70-30 rule, how to divvy up your inventory, knowing the difference between the restricted categories, unrestricted, and which ones give you more access to FBM sellers over FBA sellers, you then need to know that product research, which is essentially the most important part, is actually divided into two separate parts. Now, this is where a lot of people go wrong. And this is where more oftentimes than not, people are in positions where they say Amazon doesn't work, oh, it's too saturated, blah, 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 all that different types of stuff. The reason why I say product research is divided into two separate parts, because if you try to tackle both at one time, you're going to have a hard time selling on Amazon. So this is what I call the brand research process. And then this is where we call it the product research process. The difference between the two, the brand research process is this is where you're trying to find brands that you're ungated in. On the contrary, the product research process is just simply pricing. It's seeing what product your supplier has a price at for the brand that you're ungated in and checking to see if it's selling on Amazon at a higher price. That's all it really comes down to. But what's important throughout this is that this needs to come first, and then this part needs to come second. Because if you try to do vice versa, then you're going to be frustrated. Where you do a bunch of product research, you find a great brand or you find a great product and you go and you can see you make a profit off it on Amazon, and then you go to list it and then Amazon says, oh no, you need approval to actually list that particular brand. So you got to do one thing at a time. And the reason why we do this is to maximize your time. I've done this for over 4.5 years. I've worked for over 700 people. Majority of the people we work with have at least 2 kids, have maybe 1 to 2 hours a day, or maybe 7 to 14 hours a week to put towards this. How do we maximize the time that they have available without reinventing their whole entire life, but also without making them feel overwhelmed, with making them feel like they are making good success with the Amazon store, is by making sure they're focusing on the right things at the right time for whatever amount of time that they do have available. And that's with the brand research process and the product research process. Now, once you do that point, then you need to build essentially what is called a brand database. So the brand database, how you're going to be able to do this is essentially where AI comes in. This is the beautiful part about AI and why it's so powerful, is because a lot of people don't know what to list or what product categories to list within and what product types to be focusing on. You can actually use AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So instead of you finding only 1 to 2 products for every hour, ChatGPT can actually find you 50 different product types in a matter of seconds, so long as you prompt it in the right way. So long gone are the days where you have to do this whole entire manual research process or nitpick and go through each and every single little item yourself. You don't have to do that anymore. And using AI makes you work smarter, not necessarily harder. And this whole entire Amazon game doesn't need to be played on hard mode. So with your brand database, I mean, you can be able to use AI to help you understand essentially what product types you can leverage and essentially what product categories. So again, it's ensuring that you're leveraging as much as you possibly can in the right areas where Amazon FBA sellers will not be, and you have higher likelihood of being able to compete. Now, the other part to that is essentially using the high ticket filter. So the high ticket filter process is very, very powerful at the end of the day. It's something that can definitely allow you to be able to know where to focus more of your time and energy, because when something costs more than $500 plus, that essentially equates to the fact that it's going to be heavier to a certain extent. So when it's heavier, that means that there's going to be no FBA sellers, which is obviously what we want. Now, just a quick side note, if you want me to personally help you through your Amazon business in the beginning phases from start to end, from A to Z, with my one-on-one mentorship, where you're working with me as your head coach on a very in-depth level, but we're also helping you leverage the exact system that we've been able to utilize for the last 4.5 years for over 700 students, and you're willing to do what it actually takes to be successful, then click in the link in the description down below to apply to be part of the mentorship program. And if you click the link, you'll gain access to my AI Profitable Products Playbook that you can leverage, and we'll try to see if this mentorship program is something that can actually help you. Now, this is as simple as it truly is at the end of the day. It doesn't need to be more complicated, it doesn't need to be more in-depth. You just need to know where to focus your time and energy. So you don't focus on the sexy things. You don't focus on the things that are big and flashy and trendy and all that different stuff. Focus on the basics. When you focus on the basics, that's what's going to allow you to build an Amazon business that lasts for sustainable periods of time. Now, once we know exactly what do I do differently, here's exactly what I would recommend skipping as a third-party seller. So first of all is obviously the manual research, okay? So the manual product research process, I would not ever want to do this anymore, because long gone are the days where you're spending 3-4 hours to identify a product that you may or may not be able to sell. You don't have to play this game on hard mode. You just need to have access to the right information, which is the purpose of this YouTube channel at the end of the day. So the manual product research process, this is what used to take hours and hours and on end of continuous back and forth from supplier and all these different types of things. You don't have to do that anymore. You can allow ChatGPT to lead you in the right direction that's going to have the most ROI for the time that you do put into your Amazon business. And what this does, as people gone through the manual product research process, they try to look for like the perfect product listing. And this is a big mistake, because the perfect product listing doesn't actually exist. I'd rather list 50 mediocre producing products rather than trying to find only one top performing or high-end product listing at the end of the day that's not really going to be able to allow me to get as many sales as I would like. Again, we have the luxury of selling on Amazon the way that we do to list as many products as we possibly can without buying them. So the name of this game is you don't know how something's going to work until you try. So what do you got to lose to list an item on Amazon If it doesn't sell, you lose no money. It is what it is. But the moment it does sell, that's when you know you made money. You only spend money once you know you've made money, once the customer has bought something from you first. Then from that point, I would skip the restricted product categories. This is what a lot of people don't realize, is when it comes down to restricted product categories, you're going to see things like beauty, let's say, for example. You're going to see specific things like electronics, for example. Very big product categories that a lot of people know about. However, you're already starting off at a disadvantage with this process if you're focusing on these particular product categories. The reason for that is very simple, because there's a lot of different things that come into this, and things like beauty, electronics, or even other things. Let's say, for example, people love to try to sell clothing. The thing with clothing, the return rates are so high at the end of the day that it's not even worth it for you to list any products within these product categories. So you need to be mindful that there's already restrictions on these product categories, which makes your life a lot harder if you're trying to find an ungated brand. But even to that point, return rates are extremely higher comparatively to the other product categories. So instead of searching in product categories like these, for example, focus on the basics, on the products that people know, like, and trust, and use on an everyday basis. The best exercise I like to walk every single one of my mentorship students through is you walk inside of your kitchen. When you walk inside of your kitchen, try to identify the brand names that are within your kitchen. Take a look at your toaster, take a look at your coffee machine, take a look at your microwave. What are those brand names? Those are the brand names that more oftentimes than not, truthfully, you have high likelihood of being ungated in as a new Amazon seller. Now, the next part to this is waiting for that right time. Like, this is something that will never literally come ever. The right time does not exist. I was waiting for the right time to sit down and do the product research where I had 5 hours on the weekend to put towards this. I had, uninterrupted time away from family or whatnot to be able to put towards this. Small little incremental efforts every single day compound day over day over a long period of time. And that's something everybody needs to realize. So even if you're only doing product research for 30 minutes, even if you're only doing brand research for an hour, let's say, for example, that hour is so important, because there's no such thing as you being in a perfect position for you to start an Amazon business. You have to create that perfect timing for yourself, or else it's never going to happen. You have to make this a priority for yourself in order for you to be successful. So the right timing aspect is not something that's ever going to come, and a lot of people wait for, well, I got more time this week and I'll put it towards this. 1% better every single day compounds, and it's the small wins that lead up to that big massive win of your first 5K month, 10K month, whatever it is that you actually want to be able to hit. Now, lastly is thinking about fast results. Now, it took me my first 6 months to reach $100,000 in total sales with my Amazon business. And one thing that allowed me to get to the point of which I'm at right now is thinking in the right way. But after coaching over 700 people the last 4.5 years, one thing I realized is a lot of people, especially due to social media, is thinking that this is a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. Okay, I'm going to try to unsell you as best as I possibly can about an Amazon business. It takes time. It takes energy, it takes effort. And I'm sorry if you don't like hearing that, but that's the reality. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm here to tell you what it's truthfully like for you to build an Amazon business in 2026 the right way. And I need to underpromise and overdeliver for every single one of my mentorship students. And for you watching this video right now, you need to think about that fact that you're hitting your first 10K month in 30 days is not going to happen. You need to think about the fact that you getting to your first $1,000 day in the matter of your first week is not going to happen. Get your head out of the fact that there's the fast wins and the easy money with all this stuff, because you have to let everything take its natural course. Now, does it mean that it doesn't ever happen? It definitely does happen. Shantae started with us 2 weeks ago, and she reached her first $1,000 day after starting with us 2 weeks, right? But the only reason why she got there, she didn't rush the process. She didn't have unrealistic expectations coming into this. She understood that it's not a get-rich-quick thing. And for every single one of you here, it takes time, energy, and effort. And if you're not willing to put in the time and energy and effort for something that's going to help you improve your life or help you improve your quality of life, then this isn't going to be for you, and that's the reality of the situation. Again, I'm not here to tell you or sell you this big fancy dream. I'm here to tell you that I've done this for a long time, and you need to recognize that if you know that this is something that's going to take time, you're going to get the results that you want from it. But if you come into this thinking that it's get-rich-quick scheme, you're going to try to expedite the process, you're going to try to skip corners and make costly mistakes, that's not going to allow you to produce results with your Amazon business. So I don't want to encourage any of you, if you want to be a part of my mentorship program, thinking that this is the magic pill solution, thinking that this is 10K in 30 days, it's not going to happen. Well, my job is to save you time, it's to save you effort, it's to save you the costly mistakes that you would be doing if you were to do this yourself. because I have a replicable system that's worked for over 4.5 years for over 700 people who are very busy. Christian Van Ham, he got to $15 million in sales in 2025. It's his second year selling on Amazon. It didn't happen overnight. But what's important is that we help people work smarter and not necessarily so much harder to get to these levels with their Amazon business. And that's the beautiful part about using AI, is AI allows you to start 10 steps ahead compared to when I was first starting with my own Amazon store. So with the fast results, people always lead to thinking that they look at these big sexy things, right? And all of this is not going to get you to where you want to be. It's the unsexy things. Okay? Unsexy things such as account health ratings, unsexy things like 5-star reviews, unsexy things like suppliers, let's say, for example, unsexy things in terms of ungated products or product brands, let's say, for example. Those are the things. Unsexy things are the things that are going to take you places where the sexy things simply cannot. And this is the basics. Now, for every single one of you watching this video right now, you're at an advantage. You have something that I didn't have when I first started 4.5 years ago that allowed me to go from a broke valet to a full-time Amazon seller like what I am right now. You can use AI to scan product categories to give you product ideation to help you know what product types you should sell, what product types you shouldn't sell. And you can use the high ticket filter search that I talked to you about to help you understand where FBA sellers aren't and where FBM sellers are, so that way you have higher likelihood of being able to compete. And with that, you're going to be able to have the ability to create a database of brands that you're ungated in that you can sift through for every single one of the 4 to 8 different suppliers that you have for your Amazon business. So that way from one brand, you can get 20 different products rather than trying to find 20 different products at one time and you're not eligible to sell any of them. So skip the analysis paralysis, skip the analyzing products for hours and hours on end, skip the restricted product categories that are never going to lead you to being ungated in any brands, skip the complicated niches, and skip the fact that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And if you do all of that and you let an Amazon business take its natural course, then you can potentially get to where you want to be and hit the goals that you want with your own Amazon business. And if you want me to walk you through this exact step-by-step system through my one-on-one mentorship, where we're going to provide you with a whole 10-part video training program, access to unlimited one-on-one mentorship calls with me directly and our 3 other assistant coaches as well. I'm going to give you a list of suppliers that you can be able to work with that are based in your domestic region. I'm going to give you copy and paste scripts, templates, 4 different in-depth product research strategies, and of course, giving you access to the AI Profitable Products Playbook, so that way you know how to use AI to help you find profitable products for your Amazon business. Then click the link in the description down below to apply to be part of the mentorship program, so that way we can see if we can truly help you. But if you also want to learn how to start AI Amazon dropshipping, then all you got to do is click the video on the screen right now to watch that. But besides that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please comment them down below. Please like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one.